Breaking news, folks, and this one's huge. Donald Trump's global tariffs, the ones he bragged about nonstop, the ones he claimed were protecting America. Yeah, a U.S. appeals court just called them what they really are, illegal. That's right. The so-called emergency powers Trump invoked to slap tariffs across the globe, total overreach. The court basically said, nice try, don't, but you can't just invent emergencies because you feel like flexing. And trust me, this is going to get messy. Not just for Trump, but for American businesses, consumers, and anyone who actually cares about the rule of law. Let's roll the clip and then break it down.
Just moments ago, we got word from a U.S. appeals court. This is breaking. The court found the president's global tariffs were found to be illegal. The court finding Trump exceeded his authority in imposing the tariffs, upholding an earlier ruling by the Court of International Trade that ruled Trump wrongfully invoked an emergency law to issue the tariffs. This is a major development at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. With us now to discuss that and more, this evening's political panel. Bloomberg Politics contributors Rick Davis, partner at Stone Court Capital, our Republican strategist, alongside Democratic analyst Jeannie Shanzano, democracy visiting fellow at Harvard's Kennedy School's Ash Center. Rick, Jeannie, didn't know we'd be talking about this, but that's the way it goes around here. The tariffs are illegal. Does Donald Trump care?
And there it is. The courts just said out loud what a lot of people already knew. Trump's emergency tariffs were bogus. You don't get to wave a magic wand and call a decades-old trade deficit a sudden emergency. That's not leadership. That's just abusing power because you want to look tough. And let's be real. Does Trump actually care? Only if it dents his image. When courts back him, he struts around bragging. When they shut him down, suddenly it's a witch hunt. Classic Trump playbook.
I think Donald Trump will care. I mean,
he likes to abide by the courts.
He likes to show force, right? Yeah. And the emergency powers gave him that. But he does have other mechanisms to implement some portion of those tariffs. He might not be able to do all of them with every country that he had had under a tariff regime.
Yes, right.
But programs like, Section 301 and others give him the ability alone, the power of the executive branch to implement some of those tariffs. So there'll probably be a new regime put into place while they appeal this decision.
Don't think for 1 second that tariffs are gone. Trump's not about to give up his favorite political toy. He'll just slap a new label on it, Section 301 Executive Authority, whatever tool he can dig up and pretend it's a brand new plan. But here's the problem. Tariffs weren't an economic strategy. They were a campaign slogan. They made him look strong on TV while farmers went broke, consumers paid more, and our trading partners laughed at the chaos. It's like patching a sinking boat with duct tape. Yeah, you're doing something, but the ship's still going under.
Fair enough. So over the weekend, Jeannie, these tariffs maybe lift, but in the coming hours, the administration finds an alternative, a different argument, because it's the emergency that the court is ruling on here.
That's right. And that was always suspect. And, reading the statute, it was very, very hard to imagine that the court would support a declaration of an emergency. He talked about an emergency for things like the trade deficit, for instance. But yet that has been going on for decades and decades, hardly constituting an emergency. So it was always an uphill battle for the administration. They will certainly appeal. And of course, this is part of what the administration is going to have to contend with, and consumers and businesses around the world, countries around the world, this uncertainty as it pertains to tariffs. This is what the president took on when he announced this regime, and we'll have to see what the courts say as this moves forward.
And Jeannie's right, this emergency argument was never going to hold up. A decades-long trade deficit isn't a sudden crisis, it's an excuse. If presidents can just declare anything an emergency, then everything becomes an emergency. Gas prices, climate change, you name it. That's not democracy, that's ruling by decree. And let's not forget the fallout. Businesses hate uncertainty. Markets panic. Families end up paying more at checkout because of political theater. The only person winning in this game is Trump, who gets to brag about how he's fighting for America while regular Americans foot the bill. So here's the bottom line. Trump's big tariff play just got slammed in court. And while he'll try to spin it, This is a clear reminder that even presidents can't just invent emergencies to grab more power. The court said no, and that matters. But the fight isn't over. Trump will keep pushing, businesses will keep sweating, and you and I, we're stuck watching the fallout. What do you think? Is this ruling a victory for the Constitution, or just a temporary pause in Trump's chaos machine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and hit subscribe. Because if this is today's political mess, tomorrow's drama is going to be even bigger.